The first book of Orlando Furioso by Ludovico Ariosto. This is a LibriVox recording. All LibriVox recordings are in the public domain. For more information or to volunteer, please visit LibriVox.org. Recording by Thomas Copeland. Orlando Furioso, Book 1 by Ludovico Ariosto. The argument. Charles hath the foil, Angelica flies thence. Rinaldo's horse holp him his love to find. Farrar with him doth fight in her defence. She flies again, they stay not long behind. Argalius' ghost reproves Farrar's offence. The Spaniard to new vows himself doth bind. His mistress' presence sacrament enjoyeth. With Bradamant Rinaldo him annoyeth.
Of dames, of knights, of arms, of love's delight, of courtesies, of high attempts I speak. Then when the Moors transported all their might on Afric seas, the force of France to break, incited by the youthful heat, in spite of Agramant their king, that vowed to wreak the death of King Triano, lately slain upon the Roman Emperor Charlemagne. I will no less Orlando's acts declare, a tale in prose ne verse, yet sung or said, who fell bestraught with love, a hap most rare to one that erst was counted wise and staid. If my sweet saint, that causeth my like care, my slender muse afford some gracious aid, I make no doubt but I shall have the skill, as much as I have promised to fulfill. Vouchsafe, O Prince of most renowned race, the ornament and hope of this our time, to accept this gift presented to your grace by me, your servant, rudely here in rhyme. And though I paper pay and ink in place of deeper debt, yet take it for no crime. It may suffice a poor and humble debtor to say, and if he could, it should be better. Here shall you find, among the worthy peers, whose praises I prepare to tell in verse, Rogero, him from whom in ancient years your princely stems derived I rehearse, whose noble mind by princely acts appears, whose worthy fame even to the sky doth pierce. So you vouchsafe my lowly style and base among your high conceits a little place. Orlando, who long time had loved dear Angelica the fair, and for her sake about the world in nations far and near did high attempts perform and undertake, returned with her into the west that year that Charles his power against the Turks did make, and with the force of Germany and France near Pyrenean Alps his standard did advance, to make the kings of Afric and of Spain repent their rash attempts and foolish vaunts, one having brought from Afric in his train all able men to carry sword or lance, the other moved the Spaniards now again to overthrow the goodly realm of France. And hither, as I said, Orlando went, but of his coming straight he did repent.
For here, behold how human judgments are, and how the wiser sort are oft mistaken.
His lady, whom he guarded had so far, nor had in fights nor dangers great forsaken, without the dint of sword or open war, amid his friends, away from him was taken. For Charles the Great, a valiant prince and wise, did this to quench a broil that did arise. Between Orlando and Rinaldo late there fell about Angelica some brawl, and each of them began the t'other hate. This lady's love had made them both so thrall. But Charles, who much mislikes that such debate between such friends should rise on cause so small, to Namus of Bevere in keeping gave her, and suffered neither of them both to have her, but promised he would presently bestow the damsel fair on him that in that fight the plainest proof should of his prowess show, and danger most the pagans with his might. But I the while the Christians take the blow, their soldiers slain, their captains put to flight. The Duke himself, Namus, a prisoner there was taken, his tent was quite abandoned and forsaken. Where when the damsel fair a while had stayed, that for the victor pointed was a prey, she took her horse, ne further time delayed, but secretly conveyed herself away, for she foresaw, and was full sore afraid, that this to Charles would prove a dismal day, and riding through a wood she happed to meet a knight, that came against her on his feet, his currets on, his helmet not undone, his sword and target ready.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?